I think that the idea that math is so involved in everything can actually be a bit of a hindrance sometimes. Sometimes we have the question, well, how exactly is math going to help me? Isn't it just making things more complicated? So the pattern after which you think is built on what you learn, how you learn. And mathema means that which is learned. So it's kind of this equivalent idea to learning. And mathematics is then a field of knowledge about learning. So math does pertain to anything you could learn. So it's definitely going to help you in your thinking. It's going to help you to be able to develop any kind of skill in getting better in any area. For example, in algebra, you can perform certain models, certain functions that will then explain maybe water contamination and how it moves, how bacteria is able to populate. In geometry, you get explanations behind architecture or buildings or art, anything like that. In statistics, you can estimate things or make predictions and find trends and find these where they're going to be predicted to go, and you can then make decisions based off of some solid foundation. Even in rigorous math, that's where you're dealing with something that's really laborious. It's very meticulous, rote. Um, it's taxing. It's hard. It kind of seems tedious. You even in that develop a self-discipline. You develop an ability to be able to focus for periods of time, for long periods of time, and that's a skill that is kind of becoming lost a lot, especially in today's technology, where you have instant gratification through just something being a click away, or short videos that are probably less than 10 minutes long, like these. And often there are mathematics that are studied just purely for the sake of doing pure mathematics. But a lot of those times, that then has applications in some really unexpected areas. For instance, exponential growth and decay within the context of population growth, the spread of viruses, or something like water contamination, that's meaningful, but it's also kind of messy. So to purify it, mathematicians will study all possible algebra that's related. And to be able to capture all possible aspects, you can come up with some simplified, pure formulas, pure ideas. And it's very, very simple when you're just dealing with the symbols in and of itself. Even though the actual practical application of such a thing is quite complicated and messy and usually involves numbers that look kind of like that. A lot of times students don't really question why they take English because they hear things like, if you can't write, you can't think. They'll rarely question why they take science because you'll hear things like, you should study your environment. You should get to know your environment. They rarely question why they take history because they've heard that if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. But what about math? In math, it connects to everything. But in some sense, that's a really hard answer to get. Because if you're asking, why should I study math? You're not getting a short and sweet, if you don't know it, you're doomed to repeat it. Or if you can't write, you can't think. You're not getting that short and sweet answer. You're literally getting, oh, why should you study math? Here, I'm going to throw everything at you because it connects to everything. It is everywhere. It's such a fundamental idea that's intertwined within everything that we know because it's language. Most people don't understand that, and therefore they don't recognize it, but it actually is everywhere. So how does it help you? It really does help you in anything you can learn.